Hey, welcome back. Today we have Ashton and Keegan with KINGZ Moving. They are building a fast moving, fast growing business here in West Michigan. Today they're going to share some of their tips, tricks, and secrets on how they've grown their business so quickly and how their clients have been so happy with over 1,000 moves under their belt, utilizing extra special care, quick quotes, very quick response, and customer service, not only moving people here in West Michigan, but across the country. Welcome, Ashton and Keegan with KINGZ Moving. All right, welcome back. Today we have Ashton and Keegan with KINGZ Moving Company. We're going to talk a little bit about their business, how they got started, things they're doing, services they're offering, and maybe some tips and trips. So, Ashton, you want to start? Maybe tell a little bit of your origin story?
Yeah, so my name's Ashton. We started KINGZ Moving Company in May of 2022. Yeah, we thought about it. We've always wanted to start our own business and kind of just be an entrepreneur. So it was kind of idea that we had while we're both in college. So we thought that'd be a good time. We can both still be in school and still take the risk. If it didn't play out, it's completely fine. We're still getting our degrees, but it's turned into a really great thing.
Awesome. So what were you doing at the time? So going to school, students, were you working also at the same time?
Yeah, so I was at GRCC and I was also working at Target part-time while I was just in school. Doing that, it's all right. Wasn't very fun, but you got to do it,
Yeah.
Same with you. You were still working and then at
Yeah,
school.
I was at Grand Valley, going to school for finance, and I was painting in a trade. So I was ready for a switch up, ready to move on to something else. I've always wanted to own a business, so the idea came, and I was ready to run with it.
So had you owned any businesses before, like lawn mowing or paper route or anything kind of like any side hustles in maybe high school?
I never started my own business. I've always wanted to. Yeah, you had your own business.
Yeah, over COVID, I got into making shirts and little shirts and signs and stuff. So I had a little history there, but nothing too big.
So how did the initial conversation go?
Yeah, so we both worked for a moving company in the past, so we kind of had the moving experience already. We became friends, and then we actually started a podcast of our
Okay,
own.
nice.
So we were talking about how we both wanted to be business owners on the podcast, and then we talked about we both worked for the moving company. We're like, I feel like this is a no-brainer. We both
Right.
want to own our own business. We have experience. We love helping people. I mean, we're like, let's just go for it. Then we kind of ditched the podcast idea and kind of just went all in on this moving company, and it's been great for us.
Nice. So, oftentimes businesses take startup capital. How did you what were your first steps?
Yeah. So first steps were we got our LLC. That was the first thing that we did. Got liability insurance, and we basically just put some money together. So we got shirts, and we got some moving signs that we put yard signs around town. And that's how we got our first couple of moves. So we didn't really jump fully into it. Like we didn't take out any debt or anything like that. Just used our own money and kind of slowly started to grow it.
Nice.
It was awesome.
So at that time, were you like renting U-Hauls or riders or trailers?
Yeah, we started with renting U-Hauls, and we pretty much didn't give any money to us because we knew we wanted our own truck. So for the first couple of months, we pretty much were just trying to build up our business account. That way we could get a truck. And
Nice. So what was the amount of time roughly that it took you to get your own truck?
I think about like 5 months.
5 months? Nice.
Yeah.
That's pretty fast.
Yeah, it was.
Now, did you end up financing that?
No, we bought it all in cash. So
Awesome.
yeah.
What other equipment do you need when you first get started?
yeah, so we got just two normal moving box dollies. We got a bunch of moving pads, wrap, and then bungees or ratchets. So there's not a ton of equipment that goes into it. It's mostly just manpower and labor.
Sure.
But we definitely make sure that all of the furniture is going to be protected and it's going to be packed in the truck a certain way.
So part of that journey, you said earlier before that you were both in kind of finance and business. How did that translate into what you're doing? I mean, it make it a little easier probably for planning.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm a business major and I have getting my minor in marketing. So I've learned a good amount in school to kind of help me. The biggest thing I think that I've learned in school was I went up to my marketing professor right when we were starting it, and I was like, "What do you think I should do to get it up and running?" And he said, "Try to get your SEO, higher so people can find you on the internet." And then he also mentioned door knocking.
Sure.
So that was signs and door knocking were pretty much our biggest two ways of getting clients at the beginning. So tried door knocking, and I still do it to this day.
Hmm.
I like going door knocking. People are normally pretty friendly with me, as we're a small business and we're eager to help them. So that was probably the biggest thing that I took away from school was not even what I learned in class, but just going out of my way and talking to my professor to get the idea because I never thought about that.
Yeah. So you took advantage of somebody that was more experienced, obviously.
Yep.
Um, and the door knocking, that's not always for everybody. Even in the real estate industry, it's like it's one of the first things that people recommend is just getting out and talking to people. Same with politics, same with a lot of different businesses. Just that door to door, you know, shaking hands and saying hi.
Yep.
I think, obviously with a new young local business, like people want to help.
Yes.
Generally speaking, I think people want to give you the benefit of the doubt, which I think is great. Did you run through any troubles and do you have any like crazy people or any weird situations early?
Yeah, we've ran into a couple situations. People try to take advantage of us sometimes just because we're younger.
Hmm.
We've learned we got to set our foot down, and we at first we didn't have a contract, and we booked a move to Georgia, and came time, and he backed out, and we learned real quick got to have a written contract signed, ready to go. So that that was probably the first eye opener to us. I'd say it was a Georgia move.
Yeah, because before then, I mean, we were young, just getting out. We had a contract and everything made, but once we arrived there, we would go over it with them and then get the signature and start moving. So now we send it over to their email, DocuSign, which I'm sure you're familiar
Perfect.
with.
Yeah.
Yep. So we
Best
do
way.
that, get the contract signed, and then we know we got the move. It's all scheduled. I mean, that was a great paying one for us. That would have been our first one out of state, and we had the dates and everything set up, but we backed out, and since we didn't have a contract signed, we just take the loss on that. So that
Yeah.
hurt.
So you've rented equipment, lined up maybe more help, things
Yep.
like that,
Yep. We had
purchased
everything going.
materials. Yeah, and now nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are, I think every business owner has to go through at least one of those, maybe more, on their way. So there'll probably more.
Yeah.
Yeah,
More
for
growing
sure.
pains, as you go.
Totally. And that was we were like we were trying to get our truck pretty quick because renting a U-Haul there and flying back or driving it there and back was very expensive and would have cut into our profit a lot. So we're like, we got this move, we got to get this truck. So we kind of jumped the gun on getting the truck maybe a little earlier
Hmm.
just because we didn't want to get the U-Haul for Georgia. And we buy this truck and then that happened. So
Gotcha.
that's where it really stung. But
Yeah.
live and you learn.
I had a similar situation with real estate early on. I had one of my first sales. It was 20 years ago, $400,000 house, and I bought a vehicle 2 weeks before close to go to California with the family, and we get back, and the whole deal fell apart 3 days before closing. So
Yeah.
it's very similar. It's like cash out of pocket that hurt.
Yeah.
I never have cashed a check before. It's in the bank.
Yeah.
But a great lesson.
We are by the hour, so sometimes people are on us for moving fast, but we're pretty energetic and fast, and we take pride in our work. So I think we normally don't get too much of that, but every once in a while, people don't like to spend a lot of money on moving
Sure.
because they have to, not because they want to. So
I think everybody underestimates. I mean, there's been studies on this, but everybody underestimates how long it takes to do any given task. Oftentimes, it's by like a third.
Yeah.
It generally will take 2 to 3 times longer for many things, especially if you're not familiar with it
Yes.
Right.
as a customer. And there's always more behind the scenes that goes on to prepping, scheduling your time. Stuff happens.
Exactly.
along the way.
I mean, you'll run into a couch that it can only fit one way, and it takes a while to figure it out, like tight doorways and stuff like that. You're gonna have to take the door off. So most of the time, people are pretty understanding that you can run into stuff like that.
And you're insured. So plus
Yep.
you've done it and you figure, you know all the little tips and tricks.
Yeah.
So from on the business journey, where are you kind of heading next?
Yeah. So we actually got two part-time employees right now.
Okay.
So we're starting to really grow. Our name's getting out there more and more. We really want to try to get two trucks possible going out this summer, or at least getting scheduled pretty much Monday through Friday if possible. We're really close to getting there. So we're just trying to take those extra steps to really try to get our name out there. I mean, everyone that we've used or uses us, they're super happy with what we've done for them. And they recommend us and leave us good reviews. I mean, we're all 5-star reviews on Google. So I know we're doing a really great job moving, and it's just we got to get our name out there. That's the hardest part.
Yeah, I've seen your signs in all over town,
Yeah.
and I've my clients have hired you. I what I consider a high end client that they had a lot of expensive items, and they've done several moves, and they were super happy with the work you guys did. So it's part of why I invited you on here because it's always nice to share when you have good vendors.
Yeah, I appreciate that a lot.
Thank you. Yeah, we've talked about growing and advertising too,
Mhm.
billboards, talked about possibly renting trailers, just other types of income too. So, and ways of helping people out too. So,
Some good guerrilla marketing style.
yeah,
Yep.
right.
That's what it used to be called. I don't know.
Yeah.
Um, no, so you have a website. I've seen the website. Do you use Google Business?
Yep.
That one has been a big one
Yeah.
over the past couple of years, it seems. Do you post regularly on Google Business, or you share your reviews there? Where do you do your reviews?
Yeah. So when we tell our clients to leave reviews, we always tell them on Google.
Okay.
Um, so I think we got 75-star reviews right now on our
Wow,
Google.
that's
So
amazing.
yeah, we're very, very happy with that number. Um, Pretty much, yeah, just that's pretty much how we're doing it with the Google business right now.
Okay.
Um, Anytime we're posting things, it's normally on our Facebook or Instagram.
Yeah.
Um, just like little clips, or we'll post reviews that people leave, and yeah, just try to post as much on social media.
Sure.
We've found that we made a little business card up with a QR code to our Google review. So every time we have a customer, we give it to them after the move's completed and say, if you have a second, please leave us a review. And that really helped
Awesome. Yeah.
grow our
Reduce the
Google
friction.
reviews for sure.
That's a great tip.
I know with social media, I don't think it brings in a lot of clients, but when people are looking for a moving company and they find us on Google, they'll go to our social media. And I think it's good to build up your credibility on social media. That way, when they're scrolling on our account, they see that we've had good reviews. What we do is we'll give a yard sign to the clients after we're done.
Hmm.
It's a picture of them holding up our sign. And so they can see we've done a lot of moves and that we've provided good services, that they're happy. So we kind of just try to post on there as like a reassurance
Sure.
that.
Kind of build our brand awareness a little bit.
Credibility.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for
they can go
sure.
back. I always look, the first place I go, Google Business, check out a website
Yep.
just to see how legit you are. Social media, same thing.
Yep.
And when you see people posting and moving, the faces make a big difference. When you see real people. So you have two new employees.
Yep.
Are they hired now?
Yep.
And they're employees, or are they kind of independent contractors?
They're independent
general?
Yeah.
contractors. So we ask them if they want to move a certain day and they say yes or no.
Great.
So the way we run it is we always have an owner on the move. One of us always wants to be there overseeing stuff and kind of steering them in the right direction. So we don't want to kind of just throw two random employees out there. So
How does your sales process typically work from beginning? Say somebody, emails you or calls you on the phone.
Yep. Yeah. So normally they're reaching out, either finding our website and contacting us through our website, or just giving me a call. So if they give me a call, I'm the one answering it. And I just ask them, where are you guys at right now? Where are you moving to? figure out if it's a local move or it's going to be a long distance move. Because local move is by the hour, a long distance move is a flat rate.
Okay.
So figure where they're moving. If it's a local, long distance, either, we just send them kind of over a moving form to their email
Okay.
to fill out. It takes them probably just like 3 to 5 minutes to fill out. And then from that, we've done so many moves that I can give them a good estimate. From that form you sent over, it should take us roughly 5 to 6 hours or something. And I think that's what kind of makes us different is we have such a easy booking process, which we like because it's easy on our end, it's easy on their end, so everyone's happy. So once I give them that moving form, give them the quote and figure out what day they want. And then if April 12th is the day they want and we have it available, get that going, just send them one contract. Once it's signed, we're good to go. So we can literally give you a quote and get you scheduled in probably like 15, 20 minutes.
That's amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great. Yeah, I think friction and everything is just so much. Like I gravitate towards easy quite often. It's
Yeah.
like, what's the easiest way to go? And sometimes might compare rates and things, but if you're gonna show up, you're not gonna make it too difficult. Those are like the main things. Most people don't even talk to more than the first or second vendor, as long as they feel comfortable and trust. Let's move on to maybe what sets you apart from other similar companies.
Yeah, for sure. I think our pricing, we have no hidden fees or additional fees. Our clients like that. It's easy for them. It's easier for us. Um, we always have an owner on the move, so you know who's going to show up and do the move. It's not just going to be someone who started yesterday. We have experience, and we just have really good reviews, so we take lots of pride in our work, and I think the reviews speak for themselves.
Yeah, when we go into a house or an apartment, we want to get to know you, kind of know what you're going through, and try to just make your move as stress free as possible. Because you've been in the real estate industry, people are either they're really excited to get into their first house they're buying. They might have to be selling the house for whatever reason it is, so it could possibly be a bad time for them moving out. So just put yourself in their shoes and kind of know what they're going through. I feel like we're very good at interacting with our clients, and just we want to give them the best possible service. And we know it can be a stressful time moving, and so we're there for them. We get what's going on.
Great. That's super important. Half of my job, I say, is um, in real estate is psychological
Yep.
management because people are either really stressed, really busy. Um, they can be very happy, but usually that's in shorter bursts because there's a lot to handle, and moving's a big part of that.
Yeah.
So before we wrap, maybe we can go into what's maybe one or two things that starting a new business that you might do or might recommend to somebody, that you might have done differently, or you might recommend they like focus on early.
Yeah, for sure. We didn't dive into marketing that much at first. It was mostly just telling our friends and family that, we're starting this company, try to get word of mouth going. Because all we did were signs and door knocking pretty much at the beginning. Maybe run some more like Google ads or something like that. Post more on social media. We didn't do that a lot at the beginning. We started doing like the home and garden show right downtown Grand Rapids, and that brought in so many clients for us. Where I wish we would have known about those shows earlier. I mean, it's pretty expensive to get into those. That's why we didn't jump into it right away because we weren't sure if it was going to be good or not. But once we did that, it was probably one of the best decisions we've ever made. So kind of just trying different things of marketing to figure out what works the best.
Nice. Yeah, you're sort of door knocking, except for people are coming to your door, like
Right.
at a home and garden type show. Like you have, I think, 50,000 people or so or more go through that.
Yeah,
And so that's a great way to meet a lot of people in a short amount of time. And they're all sort of already pre-screened, because they're interested in housing, whether it's moving, improving their place. So they're kind of in that same mode. So you're probably going to get a lot of people there.
yeah, exactly. Especially with shows like that, we do offer interior moves. So if people are getting their flooring done or painting, so they just need like their furniture moved out of that room. I mean, we do that a lot for when people are remodeling. So between that at the show and people either building. So, I mean, pretty much everyone going into the show will need some type of moving service. So
Nice.
it was great for us to do that.
Yeah, I
And you
never
don't
even
feel
heard-
bad for Pest Stream because they bought the ticket to be there, so
Right.
they're coming to you. So
Yep.
I had never even heard of, really thought of internal moving like
Yeah.
that. You know, it makes sense, perfect sense, and that would be a great place. Great. Anything else you want to cover before we wrap?
I don't think so. You have anything?
oh,
How can
good.
how can people find you? Where they find you?
Yeah, so you can call me. It's my cell phone number, 616-550-3188. Or you can check us out on our website, which is just shortkingsmoving.com. Kings is with a Z at the end. Facebook, Instagram, it's all just Short Kings.
Awesome. All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you having it on, and have a great week. Take care. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks.